Hello there. In this short video, we're going to look at comparing fractions. What type of question might arise in the exam where you're required to compare fractions? Here, I'll give you an example. 2/5, 1/3, 3/8, and a half. We're asked to put those in ascending order. That means the smallest first and the largest at the end. How do we go about it? Well, the best way is to turn all the fractions into decimals. Now, look for those fractions which have a denominator that will divide nicely and easily into 10, 100, etc. If we look at 2/5, I can multiply the denominator by 2, and likewise I have to do the numerator, and I can turn it into something over 10. Sorry about the technology here. And it becomes 4/10, which is a decimal, is 0.4. Look, there's another one, you probably even know this one by heart. A half is 0.5. But what about the other two? It may not be immediately apparent what whole number you multiply 8 by, for instance, to turn it into 10, 100, 1,000, etc. And it may not be apparent at all. Sorry, I was interrupted by a pupil wanting to borrow a calculator to do some long multiplication, which you'll be able to do without a calculator. Anyway, I digress. Look, we're going to have to convert 1/3 and 3/8 to a decimal. Now, the most certain way of being able to convert them to a decimal is to do long division. So let's find out what 1/3 is. Now, the top number goes into the bus shelter, and we put a decimal point after the integer part and some zeros, which we're going to require following the decimal point. And outside the bus shelter goes a 3. Now, before you do any arithmetic, put the decimal point above a decimal point. 3's into 1, go 0, remainder 1. 3's into 10, go 3 times, remainder 1. 3's into 10, go 3 times, remainder 1. 3's into 10, go 3 times, remainder 1, and so on. So it's 0.33, and it keeps going on. Now, what about 3/8? Now, what if you can remember which number goes inside the bus shelter? Yes, it's the numerator, the top number. Put the decimal point and a few zeros thereafter. Outside goes the denominator, 8, and before we do any arithmetic, you put a decimal point in the answer row above the decimal point in the bus shelter. Right, 8's into 3. 8 goes into 3 no times, and therefore there must be a remainder of 3. 8's into 30, go 3 times, remainder 6. 3/8 is 24. 30 take away 24 is 6. 8's into 60. That might be quite difficult for some of you. The nearest multiple of 8 to 60 is 56, and that's 7/8. So the remainder is 4. 60 take away 56 is 4, and then 8's into 40, go 5 times. So I haven't left myself enough space here, so I'll just move that 0.5, and we'll squeeze in 0.375. So 2/5 is the same as 0.4, 1/3 is the same as 0.33 recurring, 3/8 is 0.375, and a half is 0.5. Now, don't cross your working out. We're now going to put the fractions in order. Now, which is the smallest? Well, 2 of them begin 0.3, so they're tying at the moment, and then it's 0.33, 0.37. 0.33 is the smallest. So, in our answer row, the smallest fraction is 1/3. And if it helps you, cross out that fraction. We put it in its position now. What's the next smallest? Well, it's 3/8, 0.3 something or other. And then, let's say, cross it out if it helps you. Which of the two goes next? Well, 0.4 is smaller than 0.5. So we write 2/5. And of course, that means that the only one left must be the largest. A half. So to recap, look at the fractions. If you can quickly change them into a decimal by making the denominator 10, 100, 1,000, do that. But if there are any left that you can't find a way of turning quickly into a fraction over 10, 100, 1,000, then use long division. Okay, I hope this has been some value to you. Thanks for listening.